What's going on, guys? So we are still out here just north of Detroit, Michigan at the Ford Proving Grounds. And yeah, we've had an opportunity to do all sorts of crazy things. We've driven some F450s loaded up with 40,000 pounds as well as 30,000 pounds conventionally. Absolutely insane. F350 with 24,000 pounds of conventional towing, which is off of the bumper, which again is insane. We've had a chance to look at some really cool work trucks, as well as check out all these different booths out here. This one over here showing the bed scale, which is totally groundbreakingly new, so cool, as well as the sensors and the camera on the back of the tailgate. A lot of their backing up hitching processes that have been all kind of automated for you. It's so cool what they've been able to do on these new trucks. And we're going to kind of wrap everything up by showing you all what's taking place out here. And we're going to kind of move on to this section now, which is their pro section. This is a lot of their fleet stuff, a lot of their commercial stuff, and some of the things that they're doing. And they got an F550 right here, which I definitely want to show you. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so we got an F600. You guys have never seen one of these things before. This is a gas-powered truck, XLT. This is going to be kind of between a 550 and a 650. It's still built off of the same kind of 550 light-duty truck chassis, or at least the front cab section, as opposed to moving to the much bigger section. But yeah, this is a super cool truck. You can see they got a cherry picker on it right now. Under here, massive leaf springs. They're a really cool setup. When we talk about chassis cab trucks, which is what you see right here, and upfitting them, this is an example of an upfitted truck. They have these industry standard rails that are almost completely flat on top, so you can take a service body like this and place it on the back of the truck. And the cool thing about what Ford's doing is they've partnered with upfitting companies to actually provide all of this stuff as a package for companies who need them. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, what's the difference between like a 550 and a 450 chassis cab and a 350 chassis cab? So when you look at a 350 chassis cab and you look at the frame rails, it's typically going to be one solid frame rail. First of all, you won't be able to get it in this length, but you're going to see one solid frame rail running down here. But when you look at these 550s and even some 450s, you'll see where they reinforce it. So take a look at the extra C-channel. It's not even a C-channel really. It kind of just structurally supports and bends over, kind of like an L shape or an angle shape that bends over the C-channel here. Now, the reason why they utilize C-channels here versus like a boxed section is because you need access to mounting locations. You need access to be able to mount the service body on top of here, and you won't have that access traditionally if you have a boxed frame. Some people have done it, but typically it means compromising the frame and screwing through it. So the whole point of utilizing a chassis cab is to have that ability to be able to bolt on a service body directly to the cab. Now this is kind of interesting as well, because this is a 550 chassis cab, that's a 600. That one has a lot of leafs. Looks like it has 5 and 2 overload, but check out the leaf pack on this truck. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus an overload leaf. So this is a heck of a beefed up suspension. Something like this would work well for a dump body, would work well for a really heavy service body, an ambulance body, things like that, where really you want as much suspension, as firm a suspension as possible to be able to support a lot of weight resting over the back. But yeah, this is the F550 chassis cab. Definitely a cool truck. A lot of times you'll see just the most basic taillights on it, because a lot of the service bodies actually remove the taillights because they come on the actual service body itself. But that is one heck of an awesome truck. Now next to it over here, you have a truck that's equipped with a snow plow. Kind of looks like my buddy at Brian's Lawn Maintenance, doesn't it? Really, really cool setup. This is a Lariat. This is also a gas engine. This truck looks a lot like his truck, just the newest possible generation of it. Very, very cool. Looks like a salt spreader in the back. This is a cool looking truck. So again, when we talk about upfitting trucks and getting trucks to be in a work type, and getting trucks to be able to do work, throwing a big snowplow in the front, spreader in the back, while still having an absolutely beautiful interior. And this has typically a bench seat, so this is kind of interesting. So this has the fold down console. I don't know if it's no, this doesn't have the flat work console, but this is still a very, very cool truck. And then heading over here, they got a crane on a 550 chassis. This one has that really, really big leaf pack on it as well. Has kind of a step-up bumper to the back. And then right here, this is a 450 chassis. So you can actually see on this one where the frame's also been reinforced in this section right there. Large leaf spring pack. And this is a dump body that they have on this one. Really cool truck. So whenever you look at the F450 pickup truck and you compare it to this truck, which is probably a class 4 truck, you have the cab section, which is pretty much the same, but from this section back, this moves to those industry standard C channels going all the way back, so you can upfit the truck and put a utility body, dump body, cherry picker body, whatever you want to throw on the back of it. Versus a pickup truck, if you remove the bed, you would see a boxed frame with all sorts of kind of intricate curves to move around the suspension so you can fit a standardized bed on the back. But yeah, if you want like a dump body, this is a perfect truck to have out at a farm or a ranch where you're moving stuff around. Maybe you have a skid steer or a tractor that you need to load things on, including maybe hay bales, stuff like that, and you want to quickly move it around, or maybe you're moving piles of dirt and stuff. This is just a really, really cool setup. I would actually love to have one of these out at the property. It'd be so cool. I totally don't need it. So for those of you who are like, you don't need that, I don't. But this would be a really awesome truck to have in this configuration because it would give us so much capability in terms of moving stuff around. And you can see that the leaf pack on a lot of these trucks are really determined by what you're using the truck for. So this has a much, much larger leaf pack than even that 600 that we looked at over there. And again, the reason for that is it all depends on how the truck is equipped, what spring package it comes with, and what type of upfitting you plan on doing. Very cool though. What do you guys think? Let's go check out this one final dually over here and see if there's anything special about it. Okay, so I'm over here at the booth now. I got two gentlemen. I got Robert and I got Connor, who are going to kind of explain to me what's going on in this section. I know because you go to any of these presentations, they talk to you all the time about Ford Pro and all the upfit capabilities, the things that you can do with these trucks. But the fact is that you can tie in so much technology to these trucks that was never available in the past, right? You can actually have upfit capability that integrates into the computer of the truck. So you want to talk a little bit about what's going on here?
Yeah, so all new Super Duty. It's our most upfit friendly Super Duty ever. Our upfitters and our chassis cab are important customers to Ford Pro. And so at the center of that is the Ford Pro Upfit Integration System, or UIS. So actually have the hardware is right here. Standard on chassis cab, optional on pickup. And it's a hardware-software combination. So on the truck, I plug into the module. I can get the vehicle signals I want, some of the ones you're probably familiar with. Transmission status, park, reverse, neutral drive, door ajar, vehicle speed, all those types of signals I can get from the module. And then I have software on top of that where then I can write logic and start, doing if-then statements. If I want to operate the crane on this truck over here, which is up there, right? If I want to operate the crane, then the emergency parking brake must be on, right? As a safety interlock, so our upfitters can program that in. And it gives that total integration between the second unit body, the aftermarket equipment, and then the truck.
Okay.
And so along with that, I have the sync screen in the center stack, and I can actually put in soft buttons so I can control different lighting, different equipment, and then I can see it. If I'm the end user, I just have better awareness of what's running. I can look at the center screen, turn certain things on, and we also have our truck. This is our snowplow truck over here. It's wired up, so I got the blade in front, the salt spreader in back. So an example of the logic on the salt spreader, I'm going to take vehicle speed as I speed up, slow down, or I come to stop at a stoplight. I can actually change the output of the auger on the back, throw more or less salt, or stop it altogether, which right, that helps save costs if you're a snowplow driver. And then same thing on the blade. when I take the transmission into reverse, it's actually going to lift the blade up.
Oh,
so
automatically.
It's taking that transmission.
So you're not dealing with that control the whole time.
Exactly,
It does it for you.
If you're plowing a lot, that's a lot of manipulation you need to do, and you can build that in if you've you know, done the integration, written the programming with the software.
So right now I've just connected the pins. If I was to configure this logic and deploy it to the vehicle, it would show me a touchscreen 1 button in button number position 1. So with the buttons, there are 8 buttons per page, and there's 4 pages for a total of 32 buttons.
Wow, no, that is really cool. How do you connect to the vehicle?
So this is the CAN interface.
Okay,
here.
so you'll have a special CAN interface.
Yep, it connects through CAN here. You connect through the OBD2 port, and you deploy through a value CAN 3.
Okay.
And also right here, so here's the power port, here's the output ports, 12 output pins, 2 of them 10 amps, the rest of them 5 amps. 4 half bridges on here as well, so it can be ground or power. And then you have your 40-way here, which is your digital inputs and also your analog inputs.
Okay, it's gonna be like for deeper integration, right?
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, I think one of the great parts about this too is the scalability of the software. Assuming you have multiple trucks, they're wired similar, write the software once, and then like you were saying, take the laptop, plug into the OBD port, and reflash the truck, and then
That's very
each
cool.
truck is set up that way.
Right.
All right, well, that's awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the quick overview.
Thank you.
Some awesome technology out here, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
No
we're
problem.
really excited to roll this out.
That's cool. Well, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very, very soon.